Okay, welcome in one and all. I'm now going to be reviewing all of Tuesday night's action in the NHL. There were 10 games on tap, so let's get rolling, starting with the teams you see on your screen between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers. And wow, I did not come prepared because I was too busy getting everything set up, and now I got to go back and look at the score sheet. So just please hold on one second. Don't put the Jeopardy music on. YouTube will kick me off. Or Tuesday night action. Okay, so we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary now that I have it up and running. So a little late on that. So Austin Matthews would kick things off in the first, getting his 20th goal this season, 3 minutes and 52 seconds into the frame, assisted by Nylander and Gregor. Timmins would then get his first goal of the season, 5 minutes and 7 seconds into the frame, so a minute and 15 seconds. Sorry, minute and 15 seconds. I apologize. After Matthews opened up the score, Timmins will get his first goal this season from Yarncroke and Domi. Blake Wheeler will get his third goal this season for the New York Rangers, 5 minutes and 42 seconds into the frame. So that goal happened less than 40 seconds after Timmins made it 2-1. Yarncroke would increase the lead to 3-1, getting his seventh of the season from Tavares with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the frame. And Mitch Marner would then get his 10th goal this season, 21 seconds after Yarncroke scored, increasing the lead to 4-1, assisted by Matthews and Legason. So it was 4-1 heading into the second period. Zibanejad would finally get the Rangers their second goal of the game, a power play goal with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the frame, his eighth of the season from Panarin and Fox. Wheeler would then get his second goal of the game, his fourth of the season, I should say, assisted by Zibanejad and Trouba, and that goal happened with a minute and 34 seconds to go. So they cut into the lead 4-3 heading into the third. Marner would increase the lead to 5-3, getting his 11th goal this season, his second goal of the game from Riley and Matthews. A power play goal just a minute and 29 seconds into that frame. Matthews would then get his second goal of the game, his 21st of the season, from Nylander and McCabe, and that goal happened with 3 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the frame, and the game was already over at that point, but with a minute and 27 seconds to go, Kampf would then get his fourth goal of the season from Brody and Marner, so 7-3 is the final score from New York. With that, the Leafs are sitting at 15, 6, and 5, and despite the loss, the Rangers are still in first place, 19, 7, and 1. The next game takes place in Ottawa, where we have the Senators and the Hurricanes. You could help out here. Where am I looking? The Hurricanes, they're the away team, and the Senators. Here we go. They should be on your screen right away. So we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. Holy, get a face mask. Norris would open up the scoring 7 minutes and 27 seconds into the frame, getting his seventh of the season from Bramstrom and Giroux. Nietzsche would then tie things up with a power play goal with a minute and 11 seconds to go in the frame, his eighth of the season from Shea and Drury. So it was all tied up in one after one. Sebastian Aho would give the Hurricanes a 2-1 lead, getting his ninth goal this season. A power play goal with 7 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the frame, assisted by D'Angelo and Teravainen. Jarvis would then increase the lead to 3-1 at that point, getting a goal with 6 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the frame. His 10th of the season from Aho and Orlov. And then Aho would then get his second goal of the game with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the frame, assisted by Pesci and Shea. So the final score would be 4-1. With that, the Hurricanes are 15, 12, and 1. And with the loss, the Senators are now one game below 500 at 11, 12, and 0. All right, the next matchup takes place in Pittsburgh, where the Penguins are the home team, and they took on the Arizona Coyotes. All right, you should see the teams on your screen as we speak. So now we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary from the game. Jake Gensel would kick things off with a power play goal just a minute and 12 seconds into the first, getting his 11th of the season from Crosby and Pustinen. Krause would then tie things up with a power play goal of his own to tie things up for the Arizona Coyotes, getting his 13th goal of the season from Zucker and Valmaki. Machelli would give a Coyotes, their first lead of the game with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go on the frame, his 5th of the season from Krause and Bustad. Jeff Carter would get his 2nd goal of the season. Only took until almost December to get 2 goals on the year. A shorthanded goal, less than a minute, just a minute and a half after Michelli scored. So it was all tied up at 2 at that point, and O'Connor had the assist on the goal. In the third, Carter would give his 2nd goal of the game, his 3rd of the season. A power play goal, 4 minutes and 23 seconds into the frame from Letang and Smith. And then Jake Gensel would put the game on ice, increasing the lead to 4-2 with a late goal, a minute and 23 seconds remaining in the frame from Malkin and Pettersson. So with the victory, the Penguins are 12-12-3. And with the victory, the Hurricanes, the Coyotes are 13-13-2. All right. The next matchup takes place in St. Louis, where we have the Blues, the home team, taking on the Detroit Red Wings. You should see the teams popping up on your screen right away. All right. Let's take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. Brandon Saad would kick things off in the first, 5 minutes and 56 seconds into the frame, his 6th of the season from Buchnevich and Kapanen. Wallman would then tie things up with 6 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the frame, getting a 6th goal of the season. Bergeron would then give the Red Wings a 2-1 lead, his 2nd goal of the season from Jeff Petrie and Sprong, and that goal happened with 4 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the frame. In the second, Kevin Hayes, would tie things up a minute and 40 seconds into the frame, his 7th goal of the season from Laddie and Parayko. Hayes would then get 2 goals on that night, just 21 seconds apart, his 8th of the season, and Sider would then tie things up at 9 minutes and 47 seconds in that frame, his 5th of the season from Rasmussen. Scandella will get his 1st goal of the season for the St. Louis Blues to give them a 4-3 lead, a shorthanded goal with 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the frame. So it's 4-3 in favor of the Blues heading into the third. Raymond would tie things up with an early power play goal just 48 seconds into the frame, assisted by Bellino and Patrick Kane. Fabry would then give the Red Wings a 5-4 lead, getting his 9th goal this season from Raymond and Kopp, and that goal happened 6 minutes and 38 seconds into the frame. Rasmussen would then give the Red Wings a 6-4 lead with a minute and 49 seconds to go in the frame, assisted by Bellino. That would be his 6th goal of the year, and it was a shorthanded marker, and that is the final from St. Louis. So with the victory, the Red Wings are sitting at 15-9-4, and with the loss, the Blues are now 1 game below 500, 13-14-1. All right, the next matchup takes place in Nashville, where we have the host team and the Predators, and they were taking on the Philadelphia Flyers.
Jeopardy music.
What?
Jeopardy music.
Don't need Jeopardy music when you just went on the team. There we go. Perfect. All right, take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. Nyquist would get his 4th goal of the season, 9 minutes and 42 seconds into the opening period, assisted by Carrier and Forsling. McCarron would then get his 4th goal of the year in the 2nd period, 3 minutes and 5 seconds into the frame, assisted by Shen and Smith. Couturier would finally get the Flyers on the board, getting his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Farabee and Atkinson, and that goal happened with 25 seconds to go in the frame. The lone goal in the third was from Sanheim. He got his 4th goal of the year from Konechny and Couturier, and in overtime, just 18 seconds into the frame, Forsberg would get the game-winning goal, his 15th of the season, from Yossi and O'Reilly. So with that, the Predators are now sitting at 16-13-0, and with the overtime loss, the Flyers are still 5 games above 500, 15-10-3. All right, the next matchup takes place in Edmonton, Oil Country, and they were the host team, and they were taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. So the big thing in this game, this was the first game between the two Connors of both squads. You had obviously had Connor McDavid in the Oilers, and you had Connor Bedard facing off against each other for the first time in their NHL careers. Speaking of Bedard, he would get the first goal of the game, his 12th of the season, from Vlasic and Crevier, 3 minutes and 21 seconds into the period. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins would then tie things up with just over 10 minutes remaining in that frame, his 6th of the season from McDavid and Bouchard. Sam Gagner, a lot of people forgot about him that he was on the team, getting his 4th goal of the season, assisted by Derek Ryan, and that goal happened with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go in the period. In the second, Draisaitl got the lone goal, 13 minutes and 22 seconds into that frame, so just 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the period. His 12th of the season from Ceci and Sam Gagner. And in the third, just a lone goal, Zach Hyman will get his 16th goal of the season from McDavid and Bouchard, a power play goal just 43 seconds into the third period. With that, the Oilers have now pulled above 500 for the first time this season, sitting at 13, 12, and 1. And with the loss, the Blackhawks are now 9 games below 500, 9, 18, and 1. All right. The next matchup takes place in Seattle, where they were playing host to the Florida Panthers. All right. We should have the teams on the screen as we speak. There were no goals to report in the first. We have to jump all the way into the second, where Kyler Yamamoto would open things up, getting his 4th goal of the season from Borgen and Belmer. Just 3 minutes and 6 seconds in that frame. In the third, Belmar, I should say, would get on the score sheets. He'd have a goal and assist in the game, getting his 3rd of the season from Evans and Yamamoto. 5 minutes and 59 seconds into that frame. Wenberg would then increase the lead to 3-0, getting his 4th goal of the year from Borgen and Cardle. And Tolvanen would get his 7th goal this season from Vince Dunn, an even strength goal with 3 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the period. So the final score was 4-0. With that, the Seattle Kraken are 9-14-7, and despite the loss, the Florida Panthers are still 17-9-2. All right, the next matchup takes place in Vancouver, and they're playing host to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Perfect. There we go. All right, we'll take a look at the goal scoring summary from this game. You're awful quiet.
I know.
Oh, you probably want to cough, eh? In the first, Brandon Point will kick things off for the Lightning, getting his 13th goal this season from Sergachev and Hagel, 1 minute and 25 seconds into that frame. Kuzmenko would tie things up 6 minutes and 8 seconds into that period, 5th of the season from Quinn Hughes and JT Miller, and that was a power play goal. In the second, Besser would increase the lead, or give the Canucks their first lead of the game, getting his 19th goal this season from JT Miller and Hoglander. Besser would then get his 2nd goal of the game, his 20th of the season from Quinn Hughes and Hronek, 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in that period. And then Besser would get the hat trick, getting his 21st goal of the season, assisted by Hughes with 1 minute and 18 seconds into the game. So a giant game for Brock Besser. We'll take a look at the standings. So with that, the Canucks are now 19-9-1. And with the loss, the Lightning are 13-12-5. All right. Just 2 games remaining on top. The next game, this is the last game of the Tuesday night matchup. The San Jose Sharks are playing host to the Winnipeg Jets. Oh, sorry, I apologize. There were 2 games left to go. Vegas is hosting the Calgary Flames. I apologize.
I was about to do it. But I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Whoops, my bad. It's a good thing you're here, because I would be completely lost.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. I don't know why I'm holding that over the camera. You can clearly see the teams on the screen now.
Yeah.
All right, so Weegar would kick things off in the first 6 minutes and 27 seconds into the frame, getting his 7th goal of the season from Backlund and Coleman. Chandler Stevenson would tie things up on a power play with 6 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the period, his 5th of the season from Marchessault and Mark Stone. So it's all tied up at 1, heading into the second. Kadri would then get his 8th goal this season to give the Flames a 2-1 lead, 2 minutes and 37 seconds into that frame, assisted by Zary and Pospel. Barbashev would then tie things up 5 minutes and 20 seconds in a period, his 6th of the season for Mark Stone. Sharangovich would get a go-ahead goal with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the period, so very late in that frame, assisted by Lindholm, so it was 3-2 in favor of the Flames heading into the third. Mark Stone would tie things up on a power play goal exactly 6 minutes into the game, into the third period, I should say, assisted by Carlson and Marchessault. Speaking of Carlson, he would then get a late goal, 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the period, his 13th of the season from Stevenson and Marchessault. And Sharangovich would then tie things up yet again, a tie, his 9th of the season from Hanifin and Kadri, and there was exactly a minute remaining on the clock. In overtime, Stone would then get a second goal of the game, his 10th of the season from Eichel and Pietrangelo, a minute and 11 seconds into the overtime frame. So the Vegas Golden Knights had to come back against the Calgary Flames in order to secure a victory. With that, they are now 25-5, which is absolutely absurd. Still first in that Pacific Division. And with the overtime loss, the Calgary Flames are 11-14-4. Okay, now the last game takes place in San Jose, and they're playing host to the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Oh, you didn't notice? Okay. Well, you just passed them. There. Thanks. Finally. Sorry for the delay. So Bailey would get his first goal this season for the San Jose Sharks. 9 minutes and 17 seconds into that opening frame, assisted by Hoffman and Ruda. Dillon would then tie things up with 3 minutes and 51 seconds to go in that period, and that's where we would stand at the end of the first. There were no goals to report in the second. You have to jump all the way into the third, where the lone goal happened with 4 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the period. Scored by Eklund, getting his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Granlund and Duclair. So with that shocking victory, the Sharks are actually starting to heat up. They are 9-17-3, and with the loss, the Winnipeg Jets, I still believe, are second in that division. They're at least in the top 3, I guarantee you that. 16-9-2. All right, that's going to take care of all of Tuesday night's action in the NHL. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, I attempt to do videos on the daily. I can't say I always do, because sometimes I do skip a day in between. And so again, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. And now, I've asked you this question so many times, what do I always say at the end of the video? Seriously? We've done a few videos together and you still don't know what I say? All right, hope everyone can take care.